Astronauts to the moon.
Ignition sequence start. 3, 2, 1.
Houston, we have a problem.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue.
What you're seeing here is a mirage.
What's going on, everyone? It's Jaron from Jeranism, back with another live video for you today. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And it's going to be a quick stream. Very quick. I'm doing it for a couple reasons. First off, I'm using the live control room for the first time. I don't know. YouTube is making a switch, so I'm trying to make sure I know how to do it. So far, appears that it's working well. I think you can hear me. I see sound. Everything seems to be working well. So far, so good. So thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Thank you to everyone in the chat. And we also have to move quickly because in just about an hour from now, hour and 10 minutes or so, we have Jeranism Monday Night Raw. And that is on my Jeranism Raw channel. If you're not subscribed, what is wrong with you? Just type in Jeranism Raw, one word, and hit subscribe. Subscribe to that channel. You'll get at least the first hour of every Monday night show. Somebody always carries the second hour, depends on who it is, but it's a call-in show, so you're welcome to call in, 213-233-3998. But that show starts in an hour and 10 minutes. And if you're ever looking for that show for free and for easy listening, just go to tfrlive.com and click Listen Live when that show starts. And like I said, that show is each and every Monday at tfrlive.com from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. So this is going to be a quick stream. We're just going to be moving through an article. That's why I titled this Monday Live, TheTalko Talks Nonsense, because I found another article. And it will probably seem like I've already done this. You might be saying to yourself, well, didn't you just do this last week? And it's just another article. It's the same nonsense that comes from these guys. And so that's what we are going to be covering. So let me get that up on the screen now. And all the links are in the description already. I did that so I'd be able to exit quickly and head over to my other channel where we'll be doing Jeranism Monday Night Raw. But for now, we're going to be going through this article because I make an appearance in it, believe it or not. That's kind of the reason I'm doing it, or not me specifically or personally, but you'll see when we get there. This is from the TheTalko website. No, nonsense, really. Yeah, it's TheTalko.com. This particular article is called 20 Posts That Prove the Earth is Flat with Totally Real Science. Hey, I didn't title it. That's the title of it. It's by Anthony Leclerc. It was about last week, October 28, 2019. It's got a picture of Shaq here and, of course, the disc in space. You know, they've always got to go through this nonsense. So let's begin the article. We're going to kind of mow through it pretty quickly and just show it to be nonsense. So starts out, so we have to be honest here and say that we're not all that sure that we have no flat earthers in the audience here, but we will say first and foremost that they are wrong. Thank you. I would like to see some evidence of that. Hopefully that shows up in this article, but I doubt it. That being said, just because they're wrong does not mean they can't be funny. Okay? If anything, the fact that they are so wrong and yet so adamant about being right makes them as funny as they are. I don't know if we're adamant about being right as much as we're adamant about the fact that we've been lied to. That I'm adamant about. You'll catch me saying that every single time. You'll also catch me saying, do your own research, don't listen to me, don't trust me. So I don't think that's adamant about being right. But hey, this is me telling you my opinion. This is what I honestly believe. It's not what you get when you go to the mainstream media. It's not what you get when you turn on the news, when you turn on talk radios. People are, of course, paid to say what they're saying, unless, of course, you check out Truth Frequency Radio or tfrlive.com, where everybody speaks the truth, and we're not micromanaged and not told what we can and cannot say. And while there are so many memes and posts out there that the flat earthers have posted to make us think, they've just made us laugh. Here are 20 of those kind of posts. Again, you might be saying, I thought you already did this. It's just a different article, but basically the same nonsense. So we're going to go through each one again. All right. But one thing you have to watch out for is this meme culture that's going on. Be careful of whose memes you're really looking at. There's a lot of stuff being posted by globe earthers to make flat earth look silly. This is all they have. Again, I did the stream maybe 2 weeks ago that was called Mockery and More, where we basically talked about the same thing. So check that out If you haven't had a chance to, you definitely should. All right, so let's go to the number 20 post. We're going to work our way down from 20 to 0, of course, or 20 to 1. It says 20, somewhere under the rainbow. Ever wonder why a rainbow is shaped like a dome? Well, here's your answer. All right, pretty simple, pretty explanation, I think, there. But it says sometimes it's honestly difficult not to laugh while typing up these articles. That being said, the whole point of this article is to show off posts that have made everyone around the world laugh. Get it? Everyone around the world. It's very funny. Oh, it's so funny. We haven't heard that one yet. It's just classic. There's a clear reason why rainbows appear arched, and it's not because the earth is flat. It's because of the Irish gold we're always on the hunt for, thanks to Lucky Charms. It's just complete and total nonsense. What is laughable is the mainstream explanation of rainbows. That is laughable. That's what's hilarious. So rather than explain it, he simply dismisses it, and so I'll pretty much do the same. Let's go to the next one. 19, a slippery experiment. Flat earth test. Take a pitcher of water, pour it out. Is it running all over the table and onto the floor? Good. Water always seeks its level in all times and places. Congratulations, you have proven flat earth. Take the rest of the day off. This is, of course, because 70%, they say, of the Earth's surface is water, and, of course, water always finds its level. Water lies flat. Therefore, you'd think that the globe Earth doesn't make any sense, which it doesn't. But his answer to that is this one really makes no sense. Okay, explain why. If water always seeks its level, then we would expect things like rapids and waterfalls to form when there is an elevation variation. Oh, wait, that happens. What? What does that mean? If water always seeks its level, okay, we know that to be true, next part of the sentence, then we would expect things like rapids and waterfalls to form, correct, when there are elevation variations. Yeah, that's what happens. Oh, wait, that happens. Okay, well, we're on the same page. Have any idea why the water looks like it rounds out on the horizon? Because the world is round. I've never seen, nor have I ever heard anybody claim to seeing. Have any idea why the water looks like it rounds out on the horizon? Never happens. Just more nonsense. And again, he just gave more proof for the flat earth right here and then moves right past it after saying, oh, wait, that happens. Oh, boy. What are you going to do? Let's go to the next one. 18, taking the plunge. Red Bull's fake space jump. Felix Baumgartner supposedly ascended over 23 miles, which took 2.5 hours. Okay, that's true. He launched from New Mexico and landed in New Mexico 55 miles away. That part is not true. He landed 23 miles from where he took off, so do a little research on that, whoever made this post. Then this guy is going to, I guess, debunk this or whatever. He says it takes about 365 days for the Earth to go around the sun. Thanks a lot. That has nothing to do with anything. What? I mean, who doesn't know this? Thanks for just putting that in there. Okay, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And it takes 24 hours for the Earth to rotate around its axis. Okay, correct. That's according to the globe theory. That being said, the fact that Felix landed, and remember it's 23 miles away, means the Earth didn't spin? Yes, that's exactly what it means. If he went straight down and landed in the exact same spot, then we could assume the Earth was flat, maybe. Oh, boy. I don't even know where to begin with this one. Let's start out with real quick, just a Google Earth view. Let's see if we can all do this together so that it makes sense, which this guy couldn't get. Felix started in New Mexico, and I don't know exactly where. I'm not going to pay attention to that, but let's say Albuquerque just for fun. So if we wanted to figure out how fast Albuquerque was spinning, we'll just get out of here. Now, I know when I do this share, sometimes you guys can't see what I'm doing here. I'm putting a circle. I'm starting the circle. Oops. Let's see here. Start the circle at... Sorry, I need to see where the North Pole is. There we go. So we're starting the circle here. We're going to pull it down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hello. Well, it doesn't matter really where in New Mexico we go. There it is. All right, so we're stopping there. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just basically pulling up the circumference of that location, which comes out to 20,402. Okay, so knowing that now, we can figure out how fast that area is actually spinning by just going to my calculator here, and we've got, let's see, 20,402 miles divided by 24 hours in the day. All right, so we get 850 miles. Okay, so that's how fast Albuquerque, New Mexico is supposedly spinning, faster than the speed of sound. Just a joke, but let's go ahead and play with it for here. So remember, he was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He rose up. Again, it's not Albuquerque. It's, it's White Sands Desert or somewhere around here, whatever. We're just pretending. So we rise up from here, and we remember now that it took 2.5 hours for his balloon to get up in the air. Okay? And remember that the Earth is spinning this way, according to the globe Earth model, which is, of course, pretend. I mean, just look at this cartoon. Oh, here we go. Oh, spinning in space. Look at us go. Oh, it's so exciting. All right, but let's get back to this. We raised up above Albuquerque. Remember, we're in our little balloon. We get up here, and we know that the Earth is rotating this way, okay, at 850 miles per hour at this location. So if it took him 2.5 hours to rise up to that spot to get that high, remember that the Earth would have rotated then. Let's see the math on that. 850 times 2.5 for 2.5 hours. 2,125. Okay, so let's figure out if we go down here to Albuquerque again. This thing will show me. Where are we at here? Albuquerque, where are you? Doesn't matter. We'll just put it here. All right, and we go. Oops, that's not. I need a line. Thank you. Clear that. And from here. All right, so we're in New Mexico. There's Albuquerque. All right, and so 2,000 miles would put you out here. Okay, so he should have landed here in the ocean. Because remember, he rose up, the Earth is spinning along, and he should have landed out here in the ocean. Where did he land instead? We'll save that line there. He landed 23 miles the wrong direction, which is like that little line there. There you go. So should have landed here, landed here. All right, so absolutely, certainly, that does prove that the Earth is not spinning. Now, you will find an article here. Let's see if I can pull this up. And we'll jump over here. All right, this is Felix Baumgartner Skydive, the key questions answered, so you can read through here. I think this is where somebody got the 55 miles, but actually that's where the capsule landed. It landed 55 miles east of Baumgartner's own landing site. So still a total of, 70-something miles to the east, which is the wrong direction, of course. But this is just ridiculous. And I thought that, so I was trying to find, here we go. Given that he reached a height of 24 miles above the surface of the Earth, it seems remarkable that he was able to land with such accuracy back on the desert floor in New Mexico. His team later confirmed that his landing site was just 23 miles from where the balloon had taken off several hours earlier. Unlike an astronaut, Baumgartner remained within the Earth's atmosphere, so never experienced the planet rotating underneath him, as witnessed by anyone actually in orbit. Boys, you guys, just think of what they're talking about here. Remember, we take ourselves up in a balloon. So if the atmosphere is heaviest right at the Earth's surface, then that would be the area that would move. If you're moving with the atmosphere, then you would move with that heaviest part of the atmosphere. As you rose up and went further and further and further away from the Earth would begin to spin underneath you as you're no longer carried around by this heavy atmosphere. So what at 120,000 feet, you're telling me that he's still connected to the spinning Earth and still moves with it? Holy smokes. But again, believe what you want. Clearly, that balloon should have been left in the dust by the Earth, and he should have dropped into the ocean. But that's not at all what happened. Also, we can listen to Taboo Conspiracy here. Let's bring up a YouTube video here. Let's just listen to a second of this discussion here.
Do you see the deception? In addition to the flat horizon as shown at 128,000 feet, the Felix Baumgartner jump proves the flat Earth in another way. Here's where Felix entered the dangling capsule at maybe 10 feet. Notice where the horizon line is. Here's Felix at 128,000 feet. The horizon line should have dropped substantially. Instead, the horizon line is at the same exact spot, thus proving that the horizon does indeed rise to eye level, belying the globe model again. Exhibit 25. No space satellites.
The other thing that we need to point out is this hilarious image, which many people have seen. Thank you, Dave Marsh, for this video. But everyone's seen this image, and of course, Globers like to use it as if it's proof of a globe Earth. Look at that view. Oh, fisheye lenses, how they've confused so many people. I don't know. But if we fast forward a little bit, just so you can hear about that curve, let's have your own, space and science priest tell you about the curvature of the Earth from where the Red Bull jump took place.
And not only that, they made sure to photograph him standing there with a really wide-angle lens, which curves horizontal lines. So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space, look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth.
Did everybody hear that? Your own priest. So stop it with everybody saying, oh, I can see the curvature from a plane. I can see it when I skydive. I can see it out my balcony. I can see it from my roof. Listen to your own priest tell you about the curvature of the Earth from 128,000 feet.
See the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't.
You just don't.
That stuff is flat.
That stuff is flat. One more time, because I know you like to hear your priest. Let's hear
You
it.
don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
That stuff is flat. So anyway, this is just ridiculous. This guy says, that being said, the fact that Felix landed 23 miles away from the Earth didn't spin? Correct. If he went straight down and landed in the exact same spot, which is basically what he did, other than there's wind, if anyone's ever launched a high-altitude balloon, it never lands where you launch it. I've launched one from the beach here in Monterey, and it landed over the mountains on the other side by Las Banas. So, or actually further. It even went further than Las Banas, over by Newman. So all these balloons move 40, 50 miles from where they're launched due to the high-altitude winds, due to whatever, but certainly it has nothing to do with the spin of the Earth, okay? Number 17, it's all about size. This one says, why is it called sea level? See, it's level. Only a completely flat horizon would create a flat line on a mirrored sphere. The Earth is flat. Research it. Again, I don't know who made these posts, but the reason we're doing this is just to kind of read some of these comments. So this is what happens when someone thinks they've done research. I don't even think you think you've done research, but let's continue. But when they've done so in the wrong direction for what they're trying to understand. What? A tiny mirrored sphere is not going to show the curvature of Earth and its reflection. The Earth, while not the biggest planet, oh, thank you, genius, is huge in comparison to that little mirror. Yes, but what he's showing is the mirror allows almost 180 degrees of view, which is not much different than your two eyes put together. But I see the point of the post. This guy clearly does not. Let's continue. Number 16, the mirror image. He says, all right, has anyone ever been to a small lake on a clear day? Yes, I have. It is flat because the size of Earth is a bit too large to show a curve over a space of only a few several thousands of feet. Okay, so then you can't see a curve. I thought up above you said something about you could see the curve. Anyway, get real here. The mirror image makes perfect sense. If someone could see a mirror image from space on our oceans, then it would be warped and bent, but that's not the way the world works things around. Wow, I don't know if I can picture a worse written article, but I thought that up here you did say something about seeing the water looks like it rounds out on the horizon. Okay, well, just making sure. I thought you said that, but wasn't sure. All right, let's continue. More nonsense. All right, just a little off topic. Number 15, deepest hole ever dug is, of course, the Kola Super Deep Borehole at 7.6 miles deep. And it says that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. So how do they know what's beneath this? Great question. Research Flat Earth. They don't. I like it. It says this actually has nothing to do with the Earth even possibly being flat. Certainly it does. Okay. The main reason that we know there is a core to the Earth and a whole whack load of magma and a layer of Earth that keeps the magma from melting us all is largely because of a sampling of some big thing called volcanoes. What are you talking about? You've sampled, see these mountain peaks here, like Mount Everest? Okay. Well, if this is let's pretend this is a volcano. Well, what do you think, that they've sampled the volcano and went deeper than the Kola Super Deep borehole? Of course not. What, have they dug into the volcano to here? And that tells them what's lying in the inner core of the Earth, 4,000 miles below our feet? Get out of town. Get out. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see this one. Jesus supports the flat earthers. It shows the globe, shows the flat earth, says the foundation for evolution, right? The Big Bang, of course, atheism, alien seeding, paganism, the occult, the New World Order, satanic world control. That makes sense to me. The flat earth, described in the Bible, validates the Bible, scientifically proven, points to God alone as the creator, and blows Satan's deceptions wide open. Now do you see why they're lying? Hey, I may not completely agree with everything that, Bible believers might say about why they think the Earth's flat. Some of the stuff I do. The Bible is certainly a flat Earth book. I don't know, you can't deny that. He says, maybe no one should be too surprised about this, but it seems that the Christian lobby is a big part of the foundation of the Flat Earth Society. Here we go again with the mentioning of the Flat Earth Society. And this is how you know that these posts have never been researched, that they are simply pulling things out their arse. It's because of things like this. The Flat Earth Society, ladies and gentlemen, is controlled opposition. It's meant to make you think that the flat earth is ridiculous and that we're accelerating upwards. It's just nonsense. Apparently, a flat earth is described in the Bible. Okay, I agree with that. Which is interesting because the book definitely talks about an orb. What? But hey, so long as we're fighting Satan. Which is interesting because the book, must be talking about the Bible, definitely talks about an orb. Where does the Bible talk about the earth being an orb? Get it right. I mean, you guys are desperate for anything. The sad thing is that way more Christians believe in the globe and outer space and planets and galaxies than don't. It's probably 98% to 2%. So I guess then I can just dismiss it because Christians believe it? That's basically what you're saying. Oh, if Jesus supports it, then I can just dismiss it. The Bible supports it, I can just dismiss it. Well, okay, so if Christians believe that the earth is a spinning globe, which makes no sense, then I guess I can just dismiss that because Christians believe it. Does that make any sense to anyone? I doubt it. Number 13, people might remember this if they saw my previous one, because this is another guy just stealing from another article, I guess. NASA loading up the sun for the night. Of course, he says there are some times when it just has to be that flat earthers are messing with everyone. You think? I'm sure this isn't even a flat earth post. It's probably a glober. We are hoping that it is such an instance because anyone who actually believes that this photo isn't just clever framing, but the actual loading of the sun onto the truck, this has more than a few issues to work out. Nobody believes that they load the sun in a truck. Nobody. Okay? So it's just more stupidity, more idiotic writing, and more just nonsense. It's just stupid. We've entered the Matrix, number 12. True Earth pills. Take the blue pill to lack the ability to think for yourself and live in ignorant bliss, or take the red pill to wake up to the truth about what Earth really is and why the globe Earth agenda was created, and live with family and friends calling you stupid. Hey, I don't even know if a flat earther picked this either. He says, we just want to say that there is a reason why family and friends would call someone stupid for going off about the earth being flat. Yeah, we know the reason for that because we've all been taught it's the most ridiculous thing of all time. I wonder why. Regardless, the whole Matrix-style vibe that they have going in this post is something else. Yeah, of course it's from the Matrix. It's what it's meant to be. Where do you think you get blue pill, red pill from? Anyway, they just give the smallest amount of info to entice people who want to rebel and make it seem like they are right for doing it. Blue pill it is. I don't know. Who is this author of this article? The worst writer I've ever seen. Anthony Leclerc. You, sir, are terrible. Your writing is horrible. Your spelling is terrible. And I'll show you even more terrible as we get to it. Yeah, this is one instance here. Looking for those curves. Took this picture yesterday while overlooking the Black Sea, able to see at least 50 miles. Where is the curve? Good question. He says, a little bit of inside info here. He's going to teach us. Whoa, so excited. The Earth is about 510 miles squared. What? What do you mean? The Earth is not 500. Does he know what miles squared means? I'm pretty sure miles squared means you would take 510 million and multiply it by 510 million. Wouldn't you? That would be an area of like 10 to 260 quintillion. I don't know. do the math calculator here. 10 times 510. 260 quadrillion square miles in area. It's just dumb. I don't even know where he got this number from. 510 million miles squared. That's not true. I think, and I could be off on this, that it's like 190 million square miles. But this guy obviously doesn't know the difference between square miles and miles squared. They are much, much different. And if you don't realize the difference, then get out. That's a lot of miles. Thank you for the little bit of inside info here, which is completely wrong. The Earth is not 510 million miles squared. So being able to look out for 50 miles is actually pretty pathetic if it's what someone is trying to use to prove a flat Earth. No, it's not. Not when you're given the size of the Earth and you can do the mathematics around it and figure out that if you can see 50 miles, I mean, come on, let's go to the curve calculator. Okay, let's put an eye height of, I don't know, let's say this person's 30 feet high. It's pretty high. And we do a 50 miles. Let's see. Oh, there's 1,249 feet of hidden. So if you can see a boat, if you can see a mountain of 1,000 feet, if you can see a shore across 50 miles, then you've got a huge problem on your globe Earth because there should be a hump in the way. So if you're the observer and you're looking across 50 miles at a target, it is hidden by this H1 amount. Okay, it's the amount hidden. So you can't just say something ridiculous like, so being able to look out for only 50 miles is actually pretty pathetic if it's, no, it's proof. It's proof. And you can actually look up and see, we can see Canigou from 175 miles. And of course, could you see much further? Well, maybe, but we've got atmosphere in the way, and we've also got things reducing their size due to perspective. Go outside and look at things as they go off into the distance, and you'll see that they get smaller and smaller. Okay? And go out and look at mountains, and you can see them getting dimmer and dimmer as the distance goes because you're dealing with more and more atmosphere. So will we ever see 500 miles or 1,000 miles? No. Anything at that distance is going to be too small for you to see, and also you're looking through the atmosphere. If this person were in a plane overlooking the Black Sea and everything around it, they'd know better. Nonsense. Continue. Number 10, oops, maybe the wrong words to use. The Flat Earth Society has members all around the globe. We talked about this last time. And you can just tell, can't you tell that this article was just stolen from somebody else? It's just completely plagiarized. It's almost identical. Yeah, sure, he changed a few of these, but not many. He's just basically using the same ones. This is our favorite one for sure. They gave it all away in this one post. They know that the Earth is round, but the Flat Earth Society just wants to have their moment of fame. I'm sure that's why they're... So they can feel significant in a world that just doesn't care. You obviously care. They got everyone laughing when they said they had members all around the globe. Again, how many times do I have to say it? The Flat Earth Society is controlled opposition. Okay, so anything they say should be just disregarded. Period. Number 9, Shaq for the Flat Earth. Shaq does speak with a pretty monotonous sort of voice, so it makes sense that someone would take what he meant as sarcasm and turn it into a quote mining for facts. But the reality of the situation is that Shaq was joking. I love that they even make sure to mention that Shaq is a doctor to give his Flat Earth opinion more weight. And it does say Flat Earth Society on here, but these are things that Shaq actually said. And again, you can think that he was joking because, of course, 3 days after he made his comments on his podcast, he was forced to go on Jimmy Kimmel Live and recant. The same thing that happened to like Steph Curry from the Golden State Warriors. How do people not see what's going on here? The second Steph Curry came out on his podcast and clearly said, not joking even the slightest, that we didn't go to the moon. All hell broke loose. He was getting bombarded by every news station until he recanted, went to NASA, spent a day there, and then created some moon shoes that he could wear in the All-Star game and then auction them off for STEM research. That's what happens if you go against the globe, if you go against the moon landings. So he said, it's true, the Earth is flat. The Earth is flat. So listen, I drive from coast to coast, and this is flat to me. I'm just saying. I drive from Florida to California all the time. But he said a lot more than this. And he says, have you seen, and the stuff about gravity, have you looked outside Atlanta lately and seen these buildings? You mean to tell me that China is under us? It's not. The world is flat. He said this and more things about Columbus, discovering America. He went on in his podcast. And then 3 days later, he had to go on Jimmy Kimmel and pretend like he was joking. Oh, I'm being serious. Am I? Huh? He was trying to do the best he could without having a shitstorm on him like happened to Steph Curry and everybody else, Kyrie Irving and all those who have come before him and will come after, Fred Flintoff, you name all these people, there's a ton of them. Over the horizon, what you see, what you believe. Well, can't be a better post than that. Looks pretty good to me. We may have covered this one a bit already, but just from what the human eye sees, there's not going to be a visible curvature of the Earth. Wait a second, what? But just from what the human eyes can see, there's not going to be visible curvature of the Earth. Yeah, what do you mean? I thought you said earlier, up here somewhere, have any idea why the water looks like it rounds out at the horizon? Because the world is round. Oh, so here you can see it, but then down here in the same exact post you're talking about, now it can't be seen. Okay? But again, say someone could see even 100 miles away from them. The Earth is 510.1 million miles squared. Again, no, it's not. It is 190 million square miles. Not 510 million miles squared, which comes out to whatever I said earlier, 260 quadrillion something miles. Get in a plane and take a look from up there, or just give NASA a little credit. We could get in a plane if we wanted to. We could go up and see if we see a curve, but again, all we need to do is hear Neil deGrasse tell us about seeing a curve from 4 times the height of any plane.
So in the photo, you see this curvature of Earth's surface, and he said, wow, he's in space. Look at that. No, he's not. At that height, you don't see the curvature of the Earth if you are 2 millimeters above this beach ball. You just don't. That stuff is flat.
Thank you, Neil, again. I did notice I was on the wrong thing here. Which one's better? Oh, they're both the same. Okay. Let's move on. So now you can see why I said I was included in this. Number 7, who are you going to call? Hey, look, it's a Globebusters thumbnail created by me. Anyway, Behind the Curve documentary reveals globe Earth desperation. Yeah, of course we did a show on that. And what does he say here? Give us a break here. They even go so far as to try and harness the power of pop culture references that are about 20 years too late to drag people into their strange cult. Cult? A cult when we get together on Sundays and we talk about the fact that we don't believe that we live on a globe? That's a cult? I guess I'll start sleeping with members when? I don't know when this happens, or it's just ridiculous. Globebusters, come on. We're not sure that anyone who knows the Earth is round is actually desperate to cover up the fake flat Earth theory. We're not sure that anyone who knows that the Earth is round is actually desperate to cover up the fake flat Earth theory. You may not know it, but remember, I'm somebody that was included in this documentary. I know what happened. Okay, you have to put yourself in my position. You go out to a canal with 25 people, some globe members, some flat Earth members. We do some observations. We do some measurements. We do some tests. Some things are shown. They're not shown the next second. Some things look flat. Some things look curved. We all walk away from the experiment. All 25 people walk away and say, well, nothing was proven here today. We'll have to rework some of this stuff, but nothing was shown to be definitive. And then remember, these guys filmed my experiment and said, oh, we'll give you all the extra footage. You don't need to film it. We'll film it, and we'll give you the footage when we're done. Okay, sounds great. I go out, we do the experiments, nothing's really shown. They come out with the movie and misrepresent the experiment completely. So put yourself in my position. I go out to do some observations. I go out to do some tests. Nothing is proven. And then a globe propaganda documentary uses me as their proof at the end of the film that we proved curve. So do you see the problem here? If that's not what was shown, if 25 people were there and not one person walked away and said, oh, Jaron, you proved globe today. You proved curve. Not one. Who's the one person who did it? The slimy producer of this movie, who didn't tell anybody at the time that he would be taking that footage. So the only proof I have that is a out-of-segment sequence is the rest of the footage. So what happens? I ask them for the rest of the footage. They say, oh, we're sorry we promised it to you, Jaron, but with contractual obligations with Netflix, we can't give you any of the footage. If people don't see my position from here, I don't know what to tell you. Again, globe Earth proponents are so desperate for proof of their globe that they've gone to a documentary film piece and used a little segment of me saying interesting and a segment of Bob saying that the fiber optic gyro moved 15 degrees an hour as their whole basis for their entire belief. That's sad. That's really sad. Number 6, pizza Earth. It's flat like a pizza. I mean, I don't even know who made this post. It's not a good post. It's not, I don't know, whatever. If the world were really anything like a pizza, aside from having a crust, we are pretty sure that we would have all eaten our way into oblivion eons ago. Oh, this writer's so good. Of course, that's not what they mean here, but our point is a bit more credible than this one of the world being flat like a pizza. Good method to try and hook kids on the theory, though. Oh, you want to talk about hooking kids on a theory? Holy smokes. This is a good method. How about putting a globe in every single classroom and every single commercial and every single logo and just bombarding children from the time they could even use their little brains? Let's talk about a good method to try and hook kids on theories. Boy. Number 5, life in paradise. Meanwhile, at the equator. Yeah, because this is what you would see at the equator. This plane flying sideways, of course, yeah. So here's the thing. Flat Earth theorists seem to miss the theory of gravity. No, we don't miss it. We think it's nonsense. Because you need it in order to hold your little ball Earth together and your solar system together and all that other nonsense. They also seem to forget that we are spinning at some 800 plus kilometers an hour. We don't forget that. We refute it. We say it's nonsense. The Earth is flat and stationary. It doesn't go anywhere. Paraplegic Bear. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I've already told Big Bear to verify you as Baronism Bear. I hope you approve. I'm kidding, but it's an awesome idea. Get a bear name, damn it. Yeah, the only reason I don't have a bear name is because I'm not a big fan of any sock puppet accounts. So to have a bear name, I would have to create a new YouTube channel, or I don't really even know how that works because I don't agree with doing any of that. I have 2 usernames on YouTube, Jeranism and Jeranism Raw, my other channel. So, but yeah, if he wants to verify me, Baronism, I like it. It's cute. All right. That is not insignificant. The spinning, along with the force of gravity, keep us from falling off the world. The spinning of the Earth. Anybody know how a centrifuge works? Okay. With the force of gravity, so the spinning, never been proven, never been shown. Nobody feels it. Along with the force of gravity, never been proven, never been shown, blah, 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 blah. See here. Zayla Raiden just donated some Philippine money. Thank you very much. Pesos? I don't know. PHP 50. Let's hope it's $1 US equals, I don't know, 1 PHP. That'd be great. Thanks. Glaucoma, thank you. Says you're crushing this article, Jaron. Good work. Thank you. It's pretty easy to crush. It's just nonsense. If we had good enough eyesight from far enough away from the Earth, this image could be something we'd see to an extent. I thought we have satellites and all kinds. We have great eyesight, don't we? But I guess not. Number 4, cruising off the Earth. How the F do they say the Earth round? Wouldn't you just fall off then? Yes, you would. You would. So would the atmosphere. The atmosphere would fly off into space. I mean, do you really think there's just some perfectly orbiting, perfectly spinning orb of mass and magma with us humans to the outside? Even if you believe all that, think of the universe. Think of how big everything is. The planets, the stars, the distances, and we're just like little amoebas, right? We're just these little creatures on a big rock spinning in space. And you think those little brains on those little creatures have figured out a way to estimate and figure out the age of the ball that they're on? Get out. You think they're able to estimate we just rewind the sky clock and we can go back and figure out what happened 1/millionth of 1 second after the Big Bang. We're just these amoebas on this rock that figured this all out. Get out. Get out. Yes, we would just fall off. Thank goodness we have a giant ice wall to protect us from falling off the edge of the Earth into whatever nothingness the flat Earth people theorize exists over the edge of the planet. We don't believe we're in a planet. We don't believe in planets. Okay? Do they just assume we would all just fall off into space? No. What do you mean? I don't even know why you used the ice wall, which is Antarctica. It's the shore. Don't get it. Ice cream for ice ring. Cheers, Sharon. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that a lot. Number 3, wait, Santa isn't real. At one time, I believed this was real. Me too. Yep. Even though now looking at it, it's hilarious. It's so easy to make. I could do it in my sleep. You take a little model, you put it with a black background, then you add this, Earth image with the curved lens, and what do you got? Oh, look what we got. This too. Yeah, I used to believe Santa too. My parents did lie to me about that. So first of all, Santa isn't real? Just kidding. Of course he is. Just like how satellites and space stations are real. You're exactly right. That's great. Santa isn't real. Just kidding. Of course he is. Just like how satellites and space stations are real. Yeah, you're great. Bury yourself here. We're not sure how it is that the flat earth people think they can chit-chat on their cell phones every day, but it really does rely on the notion that the earth is round. Get out. What is going on? Who is still this dumb? I struggle a little bit, though, because I remember 5 years ago I thought the same thing, because they've put that in your minds that cell phones are because the earth is round. And we can talk on them because of satellites. If that's how you think cell phones work, if you think if you call somebody in Japan that it has anything to do with any satellite, you're out of your freaking mind. Okay? Just funny that people think phones. Let's listen to this from Tinfoil Hat. Thought it was hilarious. Let's bring it up here because it's just too funny, really. Just about 2 minutes of these guys talking. This is when Dave Weiss was on Tinfoil Hat. This link is in the description. But we've got this guy here, Zach Waldman, who also thinks phones prove it. Let's listen.
NASA's the biggest user of helium. They put up thousands of balloons with satellites on them. There's hundreds of videos of them crashing all around the Earth. Any satellites that are up there are hanging from balloons.
What? Wow.
Explain time zones.
Let's pull that up.
That's I'm just going down my list of questions.
What website can we look at right now that shows?
I mean, that's how you know when nobody's done any research at all. Because time zones are what will make you understand flat Earth. Just like seasons. The same thing.
Satellites on balloons, on helium balloons.
If you just look up satellite launch balloon Antarctica. And,
you don't think there's NASA's launching satellites with helium balloons?
No, I don't
Oh,
think.
it's totally true, dude. I'm asking for you. I already know all this. Dude, they crash. They crash everywhere.
You guys have like a PhD in bullshit. It's fucking amazing. It's like if you were gonna like just memorize tons of nonsense, why not just go to church or temple or something? This feels like a religion. It feels like we always have. Okay, yes. What is your question?
So my point is condemnation without investigation is a sign of indoctrination.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm against condoms
How
too.
fast is your globe Earth spinning?
What's that?
How fast is the globe Earth spinning?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to Google it. I don't know.
Stop. You have to remember, you're here defending the ball and attacking flat Earth.
And you don't know shit.
Is the Earth
You have no
orbiting
idea
the
what the
sun?
circumference of the sphere, the Earth is, right?
I have to Google it.
You have no idea. You have no idea.
I can't name every state in the United States. I'm not
Exactly.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit I don't know.
You don't know. You don't even know how big this ball is, and you're defending it. And you don't even know how fast it spins, yet you defend it. That's indoctrination. Don't you realize that's indoctrination?
Because I don't have all of these numbers memorized. I don't know the speed
You're
of light.
defending it, and you don't know anything about it.
I don't know how many feet are in a mile.
You're defending it, and you don't know anything about it.
I can't convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. There's a lot of shit.
Exactly.
But
That's what we're saying. You don't know anything.
So I rely on people way smarter than me.
That's indoctrination.
But their stuff works. My phone works. My satellite
Your
radio works.
your phone has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth.
But I'm saying
I
all
love
of
my
these
phone too. I love
things
my
based
phone.
on science.
My phone is awesome. Does this mean, because I could get on Twitter, does that mean that we're on a ball? That's what you're saying.
What
about phones? What about phones? What about phones? What about phones?
I'm saying what about science?
Jesus Christ.
I'm saying what about science?
You brought up phones. You're saying what about? I love my
these
phone too. I love
things
my
based
phone.
on science.
My phone is awesome. Does this mean, because I could get on Twitter, does that mean that we're on a ball? That's what you're saying. What about phones? What about phones? What about phones? What about phones?
What about phones? This is what people believe. This is what people think, and again, I feel bad because it was me until I looked into it. That's why I tell people, do your own research. That's why I say it. So, again, we're not sure how it is that flat earth people think they can chat on their cell phones every day, but it really does rely on the notion that our earth is round. Have you ever heard such bigger nonsense? I haven't. Number 2, blinders on. They know you live on a flat earth. They just don't want you to know that. Okay. Sometimes we just have to wonder about the logic being used when coming up with propaganda like this. Really? Because there is a ray of sunshine creating glare on the ocean through a camera lens from the inside of a cabin of a jet 38,000 feet up means that the earth is flat? Yes. We didn't realize that the flat earth also meant speculation about the distance to the sun. Then you don't understand flat earth at all. Then you don't get it. then you've never even looked at anything. Of course, flat Earth centers around speculation about the distance to the sun. Because once you realize how they got that distance, and that they had to have somebody look up in the sky and say, see that little light up there? We'll call that Venus. Let's say it's the same size as our ball Earth. And now from there, we can calculate how far the sun is. And then they just got lucky. If you believe that, get out. Get out. We didn't realize that the flat Earth meant speculation about the distance to the sun. Of course, it also includes speculation about the size of the sun. I don't expect you to believe, or at least know what you believe, but you should. I mean, 867,000 miles wide is how big you think the sun is. 93 million miles away. Stupid. Clinton Carr, thank you for the super chat. Jaron, melting the ice wall with ladles of gravy. So good, this gravy. Number 1, Earth is flat, Mars is round. Duh. Here we go again with the Flat Earth Society. You can notice they made, 4 appearances in this whole countdown? 3? I don't know. Elon actually has a pretty good question here. After all, while the Flat Earth states that Mars has been observed as being flat while the Earth is not, what? This guy can't even understand the post. This is how stupid this person is to write this article. Elon actually has a... Let's make sure I'm correct here. I don't want to jump on his case. Elon actually has a pretty good question here. Elon asks, why is there no flat Mars society? Then he says, after all, while the Flat Earth Society states here that Mars has been observed as being flat... What? The FES states here that Mars has been observed as being flat. Where does it say that? It says, hi, Leon. Thanks for the question. Unlike the Earth, Mars has been observed to be round. FES states that the Mars has been observed as being flat. No, it doesn't. While the Earth has not. What? The Earth just simply is. Excuse me? And this society disrespects NASA all the time. Well, they should, except when they mention Mars being round, we guess. Holy Toledo. So, anyway, I've got another show to do in 24 minutes. I've got to go. I do appreciate everybody listening. You can go to Jeranism Raw. My other YouTube channel will be there live in 24 minutes. Do that if you want. Or go to, like I said earlier, tfrlive.com. Just click Listen Live. We'll be on the air from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific. From 7 to 8, we take calls. If you'd like to call in and talk with us, it's very easy to do so. The phone number is 213-233-3998. Again, if you want to support this channel, patreon.com/Jeranism. I'd really appreciate it. Everything helps a little bit. Give $1, whatever. Or if you have Venmo and you want to send me a little tip, you could do that. Venmo @Jeranism. I appreciate that. If you have Venmo, if you don't, get it. It'd be great. Or patreon.com/Jeranism. Also, if you want to send me something, you can do that easily at Jeranism, P.O. Box 3044, Merced, California 95344. Again, thank you to everyone in the chat. And thank you to everyone who sent in a super chat. We'll see you in just a few minutes for Jeranism Monday Night Raw. But I appreciate you guys joining me. I remind you to do your own research, because when you do, you'll never again believe what you've been taught. Till 24 minutes from now, this has been Jeranism. Peace.